And He is giving us that power. He cannot say a word that is very difficult and is impossible to happen to us to do it. But if He said that you shall be holy, that means we can be holy if we wish to live the life of holiness. So life of holiness and life to be a saint is for everybody, every Christian person. Okay?
Okay, so this is the first vow. Let's move to the second vow. We said there are 3 vows which are common, and there is another one, okay? So poverty is number 2. What's poverty? What's the meaning of word poverty? The little girls, yeah. Do you know what's poverty? Anybody knows poverty? What's poverty? Yes, Habib. Poorness, okay. Yeah, poor. Okay, if we apply this to the life of the nuns or the sisters, poverty means the minimum requirements. Okay, so I'm not going to be sitting in the street and begging for money. No, but what we do is that we take the minimum requirements. Okay, so we don't have fancy clothes like other people that they are dressed. We don't have all this stuff. So we just take the minimum amount to clothe me, to feed me, to help me to do the things that I need. So this is poverty. Means I just take what I just need. I don't get too much. Okay, I just take what I need. Yes, Habib. Yeah.
I'm basically being content.
Being what?
Content.
Hunted?
Content.
Content? Yeah, yes. That's a very good point. So I'm content with what I have. And this is, you remember who said this? St. Paul said this. That he is content, whether he has or he doesn't have, he's always content. Okay, I take what I have and that's it. It's sufficient. I'm not looking forward to make money. Here, many people nowadays say, okay, you have to work, you have to get a good job here to make money, right? This is what happens here in the world around us. You have to make money. Why do you have a job? Because I want to make money. Why do you do this extra study? To make more money. You مش عارف you go this to make more money. Okay, this is the world. But when it comes to the sisters, for the nuns or the monks even, we just take what we just need. The minimum requirements. To be content. What's enough for me? I have what is sufficient for my clothes, for my food, when I'm sick, for my medication, and all of this. But I don't take extra. My life is not making money. Life in the world is making money. But life with the sisters is just taking what I have, what I just need, and that's it. And this is sufficient for me. Okay? Number 3.
1 minute. Also, it means, guys, that the one who is giving their lives to God, whether monks, sisters, nuns, they live what they have. If the career, the education that they have, they are just living for God. They don't work anymore in the world, and they leave their fortune, they leave everything for God. That's the meaning. And for our lives, for everybody, that means that the person to be content with what he have, like what Emily said, to be content with whatever you have. For everybody, that's what God is asking us as everybody, with not sisters nor nuns nor monks, but we have to be content and be thankful for what we have, because a lot of the world, maybe most of the world, are living in a very poor situations all around the world. Here in the States, in South Africa, in a lot of places in the world, there are a lot of people who are really don't have the real needs even. So that can, when we are content with what we have, at least we feel the other people, we feel their needs, we feel what they want, and we be compassionate on the others, and have feelings for the others, and love the others, and love to give the people around us. Okay?
Okay. And I want to add one more point before we move to the next vow. Poverty doesn't mean that because someone would say, okay, maybe this lady, she wants to go to the nunnery, or this guy, he wants to go to the monastery to become a monk because he didn't study at school, he is not educated, so he doesn't have a job, so he will go to the nunnery, or she will go to the nunnery, or he will go to the monastery. Do you think this happens? Yes or no? Yes? No, it doesn't happen. You have to graduate, you have to finish at least college, at least. If you just finished high school or middle school and you go and you want to join the nunnery, they don't accept you. Why? Because some people think, okay, maybe I'm not successful in the world. I didn't have much education. I didn't go to school, so I won't be able to make money. So I go and join the monastery. No, they don't accept you. You have to finish your. This is happens in Egypt and here. You have to finish college at least. You have to be graduate. You have to work at least for 1 year to know and test yourself that I've been working. I have money in my hand, and then I give it all up for the sake of Christ. Okay? So the people, they are rich and they leave their money to become poor for the sake of Christ. Did you get this, guys? Remember, the first monk is Saint Anthony. He was rich or poor? Anybody knows about Saint Anthony? Was he really rich or poor? Yes. Very rich. He was very rich. Not only rich, he was very rich. And he left everything to become poor for Christ. And this is poverty. That I am rich, I have money, not because I didn't finish my studies, I don't have work, I don't have a job or anything like this, and then I go to nunnery. No. I have work, I have my money, I have everything that I need, but I live it for the sake of Christ, and this is the real poverty. Okay? So we have 2 vows so far. Let's move to another vow. Anybody knows any other vow? Obedience. Obedience. Okay? Why is obedience really important? Yes. Very good. Okay. Obedience is how to make a connection with God. Good. How can I do this? So if I meet someone in the streets and I say to him, hello, and he says, yes, you have to do so and so, and I have to follow him? Of course not, right? Obedient to who? Father of confession and God. Very good. So, and sometimes it's confusing. Shall I do this or that? Where shall I go if I'm confused? Where shall I go? Whom shall I go to? Christ. Okay, I ask in prayer, but how will Christ answer me?
Through your father of confession.
Very good. Father of confession. Very good. So obedience is really important in the life of all the people, but especially for the monks and the nuns and the sisters. Why? Because there are many trials and the devil will, when you start your spiritual life, you are the target of the devil, okay? So he's okay. She will start praying and serving. Okay, I have many things prepared for her to take her away from the way. I don't want her to pray all the time and serve and all of this. So if I fall in any temptation or any trial, whom shall I go to? God and my Father of confession. So if he tell me do this or do that, I have to obey it. I've heard about a monk called Saint John the Short. Anybody heard about him? No? Okay. Let me tell you his story. It's a very nice story about obedience. So we know what is obedience. Saint John the Short was a monk many, many years ago. And his father of confession wanted to teach him a very important lesson in the monastic life. So he wanted to tell him that obedience is really important. And you have to obey even sometimes you don't understand. And even sometimes you disagree with what your father of confession will tell you. Like your father of confession will tell you, do this, and you say, it doesn't make sense. I'll change it. I'll do something else instead of it. Okay? So this is what happened with Saint John the Short. His father of confession told him, he got him a staff. You know the staff? And he told him, go in the desert and you have to walk 6 miles. Take the staff and put it in the desert, in the wilderness. Okay? And then leave it there. It's a staff like, have you seen the staff of Sayyidina? It's what? So it's a staff like this. So it's not a tree, just a staff. And then he put the staff in the wilderness, okay? And he left it there. And he said it was like 6 miles away from the monastery. The staff was 6 miles away from the monastery. Okay? So, and he told him, you get a big jar and fill it with water and go and water this staff every day. So how many miles is he walking every day, carrying the water? Yes? 12 miles. Very good. I think it's not easy, right? Especially when in winter and it's cold and in summer when it's really hot. But he said, I have to obey. He was very obedient. So he said, okay, I'm going to obey my father of confession. He said,
Even it looks crazy. It's just a wooden rod. So how come that we plant rod and put water on a wooden rod for what?
yeah.
But he just obeyed for the sake of obedience and to take the blessing of obedience on.
So he took the staff, he put it, and then he started getting the water, going back and forth from the monastery every day, walking 6 miles, carrying the jar full of water. And after 3 years and a half, a miracle happened. Anybody knows the miracle? What happened? Yes, Habib.
The wooden staff turned into a tree.
Very good. It turned into a tree. It's a miracle, guys. It's a miracle. Why? Because God wanted to teach him and to teach all the monks and all the generations who are coming after him that obedience is very important, even if it doesn't make sense to me. Even if I disagree with my father of confession or I don't like it. But if I am obedient to him, I'll have a lot of blessings in my life. So, and this is what happened with Saint John de Short. He was obedient. That's why he became a great saint. And that's why this great miracle happened. And just the staff, it turned to be a fruitful tree, a big tree. And they used to have it, but they moved it like a few years ago. And when you go to Egypt, some of the people there, before they moved this tree, they used to go. It was nearby the monastery of Sorian in Egypt. The people used to go there to take the blessing of this tree because it's a blessing of obedience, how we obey God. So, how many vows so far? Yes.
Three.
Yes, sweet.
3.
3. Can you name them? One? Huh? Just one. One of them.
Poverty.
Poverty. Very good. Yes. Obedience. Very good. The first one? Virginity. Very good. So we have 3 vows. This is for the monks and for the nuns. For the sisters, we have another vow. It could be a vow or it could be type of life, and it's called service. Service. This is for the sisters.
For the service, guys, the nuns usually do a lot of stuff and service inside the nunnery. They don't go out. That's their life. But for us, we serve outside. We have actually a lot of a lot of things to do as a service. We can just give you some examples, like serving in like meetings like that, serving the homeless, serving the poor people, serving the orphanages. Actually, it's different, the service from one place to another according to the need of the place. Serving with the seniors, serving in helping in communion for the ladies, serving in baptizing or big adult people, adult ladies, but just not doing the sacrament, but just helping Abuna with that. Having things to print and publish, a lot of things. Visitations, Sunday school, retreats with the girls. We usually have a lot of retreats with the girls. What else?
Visiting the sick people.
Yeah.
Taking care of the orphans, older people, poor people. We do service with the homeless. Did any one of you go for the homeless service? Yeah, it's very nice because you feel, because I have my home, I have my family, I have everything, but these people are really needy because they don't have money, they don't have food. If they are sick, they don't have money to go to the doctor to get the medicine. So all of this are different kinds of services. Some of them you can participate in, guys, right? So we do some services, maybe some services you cannot do, but there are some services which are common. So any one of you can participate in it. So if you want to go, like, visit the sick people, you can go and see the homeless, give them food, prepare a meal for them, and give it to them. So this is kind of services. Of course, we have plenty of stuff to do, but this are some of them that will help.
So who went? You said you went to the homeless. How do you like it? What do you like about it?
It makes you think more about what you have and makes you appreciate all the blessings God gave you.
Yeah, actually, I go to the homeless service. I learned from them a lot. Actually, even when you give them like even 2 bottles of water, if they don't need the other one, they say no, I don't need it. They don't just take it out of greedy because they are on the streets, and they don't have even a shelter because the shelters are not enough for everybody. But they don't take more than they need. And another time, there were some of the homeless, and it was really very cold. And one of them didn't have a jacket, and one of them took his jacket off and gave it to another person. Then the servants started to distribute blankets. So the lady took a blanket and then gave back the jacket to the other guy. So I felt how they even care for each other, even if they don't know each other personally, but they care for the others because they feel they have the same suffering that they had. So it was amazing.
Okay. Who is? Yeah, you have a question?
Where do the nuns stay?
Oh, that's a very good question. Where do the nuns stay?
Stay? They stay in a nunnery.
Okay,
Like-
what about
like the
us?
monastery? Did you guys go to Saint Anthony Monastery before? Here?
I don't think I've been to St. Anthony, but I've been to a monastery.
Yeah. It's a monastery for ladies or females. It's called a nunnery. It's the same like a monastery. It is a monastery actually, but it's for ladies, so it's called nunnery. Yes.
Isn't it called a convent?
And it can
Convent,
be
yes.
called convent, but
Yes.
we usually use the term nunnery more. Yes, but it's right. Yes.
Okay. Who is our role? For us, do you know where do we stay? Are we allowed to stay with our family? No, of course. We have what we call a sisterhood house. So it's a house dedicated for the sisters, not for everybody. Okay? It's not a nunnery, but it's a house for the sisters to stay in because we're not allowed to stay with our families. Once I become a consecrated sister, I consecrate and devote my life for Christ. I cannot stay with my family anymore. I have to stay in the sisterhood house. Yes, Habib.
When you become a
Hmm.
When you become a nun, can you like go straight to a nun, or do you have to be a sister first?
No, you can choose. That's a very good question. You have to choose from the beginning whether you want to stay in a service, so you become a sister, or you want to dedicate all your life to stay inside the nunnery, just praying and doing some services inside the nunnery. So you pray from the beginning. You pray too much and ask God help and guidance. So He will tell you, you go this way or that way. Yes, Habib.
So, if you're a sister, can you stay at a nunstery, or like where the nuns stay? Can you stay with them?
Stay with them? No. No, we have our own life and we have our own place. Yeah. Okay. Yes, Habib.
Can you be both, like, can you be sister for a little while and then become a nun, or do you have to be one?
You choose. It could happen, but it's very rare that after a long life, maybe I want to stay more in prayer and you stay in the nunnery, but it's very rare. It doesn't happen.
But it doesn't happen the opposite.
The
that
opposite
a
doesn't
nun
happen.
can wish to be a sister.
A sister could be a nun, but the opposite doesn't happen.
Because you are trying to be more with God, not with service, more time with spending in prayer and meditation. So usually it comes like that, from sister to a nun, but that's very rare because it's a call from God in the heart, and it takes time, takes years to decide this is the will of God in your life. So either you love to move and go around and serve, or either you love the life of quietness, so you'd like to stay in a nunnery and pray and meditate more and to talk less actually. So it's different kind. It's according to your personality and according to the guidance of God and your call in life. So they are not exactly the same because that one is more active outside. The other one is more active inside. Yes.
How are they alike? How is a nun and a sister alike?
How is it now?
Like?
Yes.
You mean the common things between them? Okay, as I said, they have 3 vows which are common, which is both of them don't get married. Both of them they live poverty life, just the minimum requirements. They don't make money, and both of them they are obedient to their father of confession, to the bishop, to if they are in the nunnery to Tamav, the mother superior, and of course, service. This is different one. But the three common things, which are they don't get married and they don't stay with their family, they live a poverty life and obedience life.
And there is like a kind of spiritual law for each of them, like what to pray every day, there is like common prayers, common praises, like midnight praise, readings in the Bible, and all this with the guidance of the father of confession or the one who is responsible for these sisters or these nuns. Okay.
So if a nun like sees a sister like and is like could a nun tell a sister what to do?
No, you have to no. The nuns are different from the sisters. So the nuns, they have their own father of confession. They have Tamav, mother superior in charge. They tell them what to do. For the sisters, they have the bishop or the abonas. They tell them what to do, what kind of service, and all of this. Yes.
You said the sisters and the nuns don't live together, right? When I went to Georgia, the nuns were and the sisters were living in the same like can they still live in the same convent?
Okay, let me tell you this. Okay, here. Working.
Let me get it really fast.
No, it's not. Can you take this? Give me this one. Okay. The same place, but there is a house for the sisters, and there's another building for the nuns. But it's the same place, but each one has his own house or his own place where he lives in.
This in Egypt actually, guys, there are the sisterhood houses are different from the convent or the nunneries, except in one place only, Saint Damiana's nunnery. They have both in the same place, but everyone has their own building and their own life.
Okay.
Do the nuns and the sisters work together? Like, do they do some stuff together?
No. We visit. Actually, we visit the nunneries. When we go to Egypt, we visit the nunneries. We can pray with them in liturgy, but actually, we don't do like work together or stuff together. No.
Okay. Of course, I want to say that our role model. I'll come to your question. Our role model is Saint Mary, right? Saint Mary, she was living virgin, and before Christ, during birth and after birth. She was a virgin. So our role model is Saint Mary and how she lived the life of prayer, purity, and obedience to God. And at the same time, she was serving Christ all her life. And after the death and the resurrection and the ascension of Jesus Christ to heaven, she lived still a virgin life. And it's mentioned in the book called Synaxarium. If you heard about that book, the Synaxarium is a book that it has all the stories of the saints, and in this book it's mentioned that she started the virgin life with some of the ladies who joined her, and it was in Mount Olive. It's a place there in Jerusalem. It's called Mount Olive, where she lived with many virgins, and they devoted their life for prayer and for service. Okay, and this is here you see the picture. The virgins of the Mount of Olive, they were with Saint Mary, and especially on the day of her departure, they all were with her, and she was like leading them and teaching them everything about Christ.
Okay. More questions? Yes.
Who started the nunnery and being a sister? Like, who was the first nun and who was the first sister?
Yes, that's a good question. The first nun is Saint Thecla, right? Was Saint No, and Saint first nun.
We could say Saint Mary was the role model. She was the example, and then later on, the nuns started of course, Saint Anthony is the first monk, and he put his sister in the house of virgins at that time. So we could say this was the beginning. And later on, start the sisters like Saint Olympias and other sisters.
And considered
Saint
Saint Phoebe. Saint Phoebe is
Mentioned.
a disciple of Saint Paul. So
Yeah.
after
She's
after
mentioned.
the ascension of Jesus Christ, so she's considered the first deaconess. We call it deaconess, or the first consecrated sister. But nun, I'm not sure if
None, because the nuns are related to the monks. So Saint Anthony is the one who established the monastic life.
And actually, Saint Anthony established the monastic life, or the life to be a monk, for the whole world. It's not for our Christian or our church only. So he is considered for the Catholic Church, for around all the world. He is the first monk known in the world. Okay.
We're done? More questions? Yes.
Together, where do the sisters go?
The sisters, they have their own house. As I said, it's called the Sisterhood House. Sisterhood House. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much.
There's a question here.
More
sir.
questions? Yes.
Where is it located?
Our house, it's in Santa Ana, next to the Church of Archangel
Angel
Michael
Michael
Church.
Santa.
Yes.
Do you guys live in a convent?
It's not a convent, it's Sisterhood House. A house dedicated for the sisters. It's only for the sisters. Okay. Thank you, guys.
Any questions?
We're going to be available here, so if you have any private questions you want to ask, we're going to be available here, okay? Thank you, guys. Thank you so much. We love you all.